Today, we will work on the contact form in our portfolio. This will be the second last video in our portfolio playlist. So here's our contact form that has two sides. Get in touch and the contact form with input fields. We will have name, email, number, and message fields for people to send a message or contact to hire you. We also have our primary button here to send the message. This button is gonna relay the message of success or failure, depending on whether the input fields are well filled or not. After the success message, the contact form is going to refresh and remove the data from the input fields, so you guys can enter the new data if you want and send the new email. This contact form will ensure not to refresh the entire web page and take you to the home page, but instead, just refresh the contact form itself and keep you on the same section for user-friendly experience. It's also very much responsive on different screen sizes, because it's not a landing page website without being responsive. Right now I'm trying to show you guys how this form looks to be working on small mobile screen. Did you guys also notice the nice but simple animation to display the success or fail message below the button? See how the entire form refreshed after few moments. Even on tablet screen size, this looks good. Also notice how the button gets a bit small on the large laptop screen. Now for the final screen view, where we will see some simple animations when hovering on the text as well as icons. I have not speed up this demo so as to show you everything in detail, so I hope you guys like this demo of today's code. Let's start writing our contact section in HTML right away. We will copy our title and boxes from the previous section as usual, and then start our localhost to see what we are coding. Today this versus code browser seems slower for some reason, so let's hope it doesn't ruin this video. By the way, if you guys want to see the rest of this portfolio playlist and the rest of this portfolio, feel free to check it out from the link in the description. This contact section of the website has two main parts: contact information and a form. This contact information or get in touch part displays contact methods: phone, email, website with icons and clickable links. It will also include social media icons: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, linking to profiles. Come to think of it, I should have used other icons since Twitter is extinct creature like dinosaur that is now considered lizards. But anyways, we are using font awesome icons again today for social icons as well as phone, email, and website icons. There are going to be 3 elements, so copy paste it 2 times. While we are making changes to the copied part of the code, important note: if you do want to see more cute web development content, then you need to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. I can't believe I said that like this. It's too cheesy for a subscription request. Anyways, the href links should contain your real phone number, email, and link to your website. So whenever someone clicks on these, it directs them where you want them to. Although here it's just gibberish for the website template. Oops, I forgot to write the phone number. Now it's time to write those social icons that I realized should have included other icons than these. But what's done is done. Again, for the millionth time in this playlist, we forgot to use our text file with all the icons code already written in it. All I need to do is just copy-paste icons from it. But then again, when have I ever made my life easy? There is no fun in easy life anyway. Now, we have started writing HTML for the form itself. That is supposed to be on the right side on the large screen. The form wrap contains input fields for the user's name, email, phone number, and message, all of which are required. I should probably write it on the next line, or you guys might not see clearly. Now we'll copy-paste it 3 more times to include other input fields and text area. I always write autocomplete to be off, but it's not always the case. I personally keep it off so as to hide my own email address that might get suggested when I click inside the input field while showing you guys the demo. By the way, next video will be based on footer, as well as complete finalization of our portfolio website project. I have spent a lot of time on this project, but I am glad it's finally getting completed because final outcomes, as expected, are always worth the hard work. Instead of a submit button, there's an anchor tag with the class of primary button styled to look like a button, which triggers the form submission process via JavaScript. This is the same button we created earlier in the playlist, so if you guys are interested, then please check it out from the link in the description. Now that our form is finished, we are going to write the message of success and fail in HTML. Make sure to write the correct IDs, because I will be using these IDs in the JavaScript to call these elements. It seems like we are done with HTML, so let's put some makeup on with CSS. In CSS, we have box wrapper that is a flex container with wrapping enabled, rounded corners, and centered content with a max width. The maximum width is capped at 1100 pixels, ensuring it doesn't stretch too wide on larger screens. The form wrap inside contact info wrap takes up 100% of the available width, keeping it proportionate to the overall layout. And that's all that we did here for now. Contact info wrap container itself has padding of 40 pixels, ensuring that the contact info content doesn't touch the edges. It has rounded top corners with the background color defined by a CSS variable primary. The text color is also inherited from a CSS variable color. The display here is block. Contact info, title, and subtitle classes define the text alignment and letter spacing for texts. We will keep the text aligned to the left, while the letter spacing properties adjust the space between characters, adding a subtle style effect to improve readability. The subtitle adds a small top margin of 17 pixels to separate it from other content. Details class styles the contact details list, with margins for spacing and display flex for LI itself to align icons with text. Icons are styled as small circles with border radius of 50, using the secondary background color, padding for size, and margin right of 15 pixels for spacing from the text. Text inside LI, that is beside icons, will be aligned left. The anchor tag within the text class will be styled with a lowercase text transformation and inherit the text color from the color variable. On hover, the color changes to variable secondary. I will show you guys all these root variables by the end of CSS and media queries. Social icons class centers social media icons with text aligned to center and adds vertical spacing, while each icon is an inline block, maintaining space around them. For icons within the list are styled with the background color from secondary, and they are given padding and a rounded shape. A smooth 1.5 seconds rotation transition is applied, which causes the icons to rotate on hover with 360 degrees, creating our animation effect that we saw in demo on social icons. This hover property is administered on LI. Hover, not the icon itself. Right now, I'm just testing the transition seconds, but I liked 1.5 seconds when I was first writing the code before making this video. Now it's time to cater to the form with input fields starting from form wrap. This is the wrapper for the form section. It includes padding for internal spacing and a box shadow effect using the box shadow variable. Rounded corners are applied only to the bottom with 30 pixels, giving the form a cohesive look with the contact section above. The form fields are set to a table display for a consistent width across all inputs. Padding is applied for spacing, and the input fields and text area have a transparent background with no borders, focusing on a clean, minimalistic design. Color variable black ensures that the text stands out. For the placeholders within input fields and text area, we have them styled with the color black to match the overall theme. The text area itself is styled to set a fixed height of 150 pixels for the text area, ensuring it remains a specific size. The resize none property disables the user's ability to resize the text area, keeping the design consistent and preventing any layout disruptions. Form group class groups input fields with inset shadows of variable box shadow and rounded corners. It ensures that each form section has a unified, polished look. Form group last child, which is text area, will have a 100% width, while the button class that will send the message will be centered horizontally with 100% width as well. Now it's time for our success and fail messages to be styled and look pretty. The message section displays either success or failure messages depending on form submission status. The message container uses Flexbox to center its content and applies an animation effect when the message appears. Success and fail messages scale into view with a smooth transition with keyframes buttons, where the message grows from scale of 0.1 to scale of 1 for a dynamic visual effect. It's a trend to use red color for failure, danger, or anything bad. So here, we are using red color as well for fail message. Here is the keyframe we are applying on the fail or success messages to add some animation. Our CSS seems to be finished, so let's make it responsive with media queries. So our problems start with the contact form that is supposed to be bigger than the get to know part on large screen. The thing is, we are also seeing it as a giant in the small screen as well. To fix this, let's play with percentages where we will change the percentage of form wrap width from 100% to 90%. I thought margin 0 auto doesn't seems to be working here, but it is, so let's keep it in the code. This media query targets screens wider than 768 pixels, setting contact info wrap to 35% width and floating it left, while form wrap takes 65% width and floats right. Both have adjusted border radius values for rounded corners on their respective outer sides. This creates a side-by-side layout for larger screens with rounded edges. Did you guys notice how the layout changes when the screen size becomes large? Since our VS Code browser is not working well, let's see it in Chrome. I will test a few things in here on the right side of the browser to see what looks best. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button to see more content like this. Now let's add those browser changes here, like the letter spacing and subtitle to be 0.25. This get in touch part doesn't seem to be in center, so let's figure out why. So apparently we have forgotten to margin 0 auto contact info wrap. Now contact info wrap is centralized, but form wrap's width seems to be the problem. It looks good right now, but on large screen, things won't look good. So let's add margin 0 auto along with width of 95% in form wrap as well. Everything seems fine, but the get in touch side of the text seems too close to the form wrap for me. So let's put some space between them. For that, we need to test some stuff here in the right side of the browser, then add it in the main code. You guys must have noticed in the demo, as well as now, that our email and website are both capitalized rather than lowercase, because that's what we wrote in our CSS resets. So let's get this get in touch side to have text transform of lowercase and anchor tag. I think I need to lessen a little bit of the width of form wrap from 95% to 92%. Now it's better, but the button seems to be too long on large screen size. So let's make it short in width. Everything seems to be fine so far, but I know I have made some stupid mistake in the code, and I would like to figure it out. But I'm all alone with no one around but ghosts. So let's hope for the best. While I am changing the contact info wrap width to 92%, I realized my mistake where I was supposed to add comma between contact info wrap and form wrap above to avoid changing width separately. This looks good enough. So let's add some functionality with JavaScript. Before we get into JavaScript, these are our root variables. So in JavaScript, this function mess event is designed to handle form submission, validating input fields, and displaying feedback messages of success and fail based on whether the form is filled out correctly. Prevent default stops the default form submission, allowing custom logic to run first. Now let's retrieve input values from the form fields name, email, phone, and message using each of their IDs. Make sure to copy-paste IDs so as to not make mistakes. And yes, I'm talking from experience. By the way, right after this video, the next update from me will be the playlist of Watch e-commerce website. If you are interested to see how it looks, then check out my YouTube short about it in the link in the description. Now that we are done getting IDs, let's check if any of the input fields are empty, like name, email, phone, message. If any of them are empty, it shows the failure message by adding the CSS display property to block. If all fields are filled of name, email, phone, and message are filled, then the form inputs are cleared after a 2-second delay using setTimeout. The success message is displayed at the same time using the display block property of CSS. We have also added the functionality where both success and failure messages are hidden after 4 seconds, whether the form is successfully submitted or not, using another setTimeout. Our JavaScript is complete, so let's test it. Everything looks to be working. So let's see the finalized output look of this section in a very non-sped up way to be clear on the outcome. And let's hope there isn't anything left. And while you guys see this, I will stop tormenting you with my babbling and let you relax and enjoy the remaining video. If you have been dealing with my dead humor for 20 minutes straight, then